chat. Oh my God, look at this whole box of pegs. Look at all that. Literally everything you can just grab on your own. A 5'7" person. Here, if we give it the shake test, I need to grab this. On another side class, they're so colorful. It's so chewy and yummy and scrumptious and delicious. Here's what happened. I am tired of doing menu style displays. We're gonna make a self-serve display entirely, everything. I don't wanna do anything where in the back I have to grab something for someone. They're gonna grab everything and I'm just gonna do the transaction. So we're gonna build a self-serve setup today. This right here is one of many great ways to display your stickers. I literally just bought 2 more of these. The old ones I had were like really beat up. Last time I tried to order these from Temu, they never came in. So I ordered from Amazon and it actually came in much faster, much better as well. I literally used these last week at Kelsey's booth in Kansas. So they're the exact same ones. Really efficient for displaying your stickers. It's a 7-tier acrylic display stand. You usually use it for nail polish. At least that's what the Amazon images show you. And the reason it's so efficient is because there's a couple where you have to like screw them on. So it makes it a lot harder to transport. But this, when condensed down, is literally just in a small rectangle. You can put it back in the box that they shipped it to you in. The sides are literally just slip-on edges. So you just slide the trays right into it on both sides. And you can take it apart and build it really easily. I also have so many of my large prints, and normally I have the menu style, but you know, we're gonna try to display all of these as self-serves in these wooden displays I have that I painted and really messed up the tolerances of because they barely fit. So they're really, really difficult to build for me. My lesson learned, if I'm gonna try to paint the wooden displays, I should probably not paint the little nubs that they go into the holes side support panels. That way the tolerances aren't extremely messed up. I think one of these prints should fit in here. I don't know how that would look for self-serve, but I'm still gonna display them. This is the only way I could come up with, to be honest. So to explain what I'm doing here, I'm zip tying these wire grids to the front of my display. That way I can clip on the little trays for my sticker sheets. I'm gonna run some zip ties through the holes of the corners here and get the wire grids stable because I don't have wire panels. Typically I have these panels. I put my keychains on here, we hang them, they have letters, and then people tell us what letter they want. We grab it from the box and package it for them. But at my outdoor events, it's a little too difficult to do that. So we have a pegboard so that we could hang up all the keychains. So we're gonna try our best to try to get every single one on there with this whole box of pegs. Look at all that. We got 2 full boxes of keychains down right here. 1 full box of keychains and another box. Not gonna lie, these are heavy. They're like 15 to 20 pounds. I don't even know how keychains can weigh that much, but apparently they do when you add them all together. I've been using these little buckets from Target to store a lot of things. So I put a few different keychain designs in each one, and then I stacked like 2 layers of them, and somehow I managed to fit everything within these 2 boxes. About like 5 of each design, and then we're gonna hang them all up. There's a time lapse of that. I have yet to see how difficult it is to bring this entire thing up, but all the keychains are on the pegboard thanks to Dylan and Nathan, and now I have to ideally move this right here. Either you guys are gonna see a natural disaster happen right in front of your face, or things will go well. We'll see. And then let's push it in. Oh, are you okay? Yeah. Okay, a little more. And let's get that side to be flat against the wall, and I will pull on this side. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm hella afraid of. I'm just gonna clamp it against this, so just monitor it for now. I'm gonna zip tie it to the display. What? Okay, does it look stable? I think it should be good.
Drop kick test.
Check it out, y'all. This is the self-serve display. Literally everything you can just grab on your own. Maybe a little height disadvantage if you're looking at the keychains and you're like, damn, can I even get that one? But otherwise, everything is self-serve. Somehow I managed to fit the prints. I had to put them sideways, as you can see right here. Normally I would have them standing upward, but I didn't have another way of displaying them without them like toppling over. So I think this was a little easier. All the sticker sheets on the front side, as per usual, same as the normal 6-foot display. Luckily here at Sac Comic-Con, they have 8-foot tables for everybody in Artist Alley, so we have a lot more real estate to work with, which is why I was able to bring out the pegboard, because this thing is like 2 feet and then another 2 feet. So right now it's like taking up 3.5 feet of space because I'm kind of slanting it a little bit. All the stickers in the trays, a couple mini prints, and then I filled up the rest of the space at the top there. Big shout out to the boys, Nathan and Dylan. They helped set everything up for the keychains. I ordered a lot more, and so we have about 140 of them. So we have literally a whole section pretty much for colleges, and then another section which is all like the Pokemon and fan art, Sanrio, all that. Very grateful they knocked that all out. And now we should be ready to sell about 10 a.m. a little past. We're here this weekend at Sac Comic-Con. It's a little different than Sac Anime. They have their winter and summer show. This one's during the spring. It's a smaller show hosted by the same people. The Artist Alley is also run by Melissa, who does the one for Sac Anime, winter and summer. But this one's a smaller event. Not as many people know about it. It's labeled as a Comic-Con. So we have a few different types of vendors, but the Artist Alley has expanded a little bit from last year. There were probably around 15 artists, I believe, last year. Now there's about 70. A good bit more artists on this side. The normal Sac Anime show takes up pretty much the entire bottom area of the Safe Credit Union Convention Center, but this one actually is only a one half of it. The direction that I am actually facing, there's a wall that is put up, and normally all the artists are on that side. This is the badge we have, an exhibitor badge. An extra one's only $20. Doesn't display the hours on here, just same on front and back. But this weekend it's only 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. It is from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. for today on Saturday, and then it's 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. for tomorrow's Sunday show hours. For whatever reason, we weren't allowed to set up the day prior, so we had to show up early today on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. to have everything set up, instead of normally the other shows where you can have the opportunity to set up a day prior, but we did manage to get everything set up. Alright, so I did not vlog a whole lot today during day one, the whole 8 hours. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest, it's 5:50 p.m. It's the end of day one, but here's what happened. It was relatively slow, but that's okay because Sac Comic-Con is still a con that's coming up and it is not super popular right now. However, they did increase their Artist Alley from about 18 artists to like about 70 more this year. There was a sparse traffic. There was a couple people purchasing. The community is extremely lovely. The organization is on point, I will say. There was a good amount of people that came out. I got a chance to test out the fully self-serve display and see how I liked it working in the back with my friends, and also get a chance to gauge whether it's something I would use in the future for other Sac Anime shows if I get the chance to get in again, because they have an 8-foot table. Doesn't happen often with a lot of Artist Alley tables. Very blessed to have that opportunity and test something out like this here. Based on this year's numbers compared to last year's numbers, we did make about the same. In my opinion, it's actually really good, because if last year we made that number with a smaller Artist Alley count, and this year we're making about the same with even more competition. I mean, I was walking around. The artists here are incredible, as always, right? Makes it a little more difficult for you to make as much if the competition is a little stiffer, if the money is spread more thinly between a lot of different artists. Since it was relatively slow towards the latter half of the convention, say like 3:30 p.m. to 6 p.m., I ended up just walking around, talking to some other artists, getting a chance to film a reel. Otherwise, right now, I'm gonna show you guys what the self-serve display looks like, my opinions on it, how I built it, and why I'm choosing to use specific items, and whether I would change some of them. The sticker sheets I am placing on some trays. This is how we're doing the self-serve for this. At the bottom side of the display, usually they're not super popular, but I got a whole bunch of these trays that have a magnet on the back from Daiso. These are pretty efficient. I slapped my sticker over it for branding, and they can store other items on a wire grid because it's magnetic, so it can just literally snap onto there. But if I put some weight on it, it kind of falls, so that's why I have to use a metal clip and clip it onto the wire grid. It holds pretty well. It's about 5 inches, a little more than that because the sticker sheet's about 5 by 7, so it actually fits perfectly. Literally discovered this like the day before I had an event where I wanted to find a way to display the sticker sheets as a self-serve, and I happened to go to Daiso with some friends, walked around and saw this, and I was like, I need this, I need to grab this. So I've been using this for a hot minute. The only issue right now is, say someone is standing up and they're looking down at the sticker sheets, well, they might not be able to see all the ones down here. I did put more of the popular ones on top. One of my main issues with displaying the large prints was because they're so large, 11 by 14, I didn't know where the heck to put them. The only way I could improvise was using my wooden displays, which as you guys can see, they're usually for like sticker sheets or small prints, for example, and I would just space them out. You can fit like 2 small sticker sheets on there, up to 8 because there's 4 tiers. But I'm using them for the large prints right now because if I put it on like this, it's about 10 inches. Not exactly stable because say they knock it over, then it falls down and everything's dominoes all over the rest of the display. So I've been putting them horizontally. They have been staying. That's why this whole side is like this as well here. This was by far the most ambitious thing to bring to a convention. We're gonna see how this does tomorrow as well. Bringing a 3x2 and folding pegboard was not easy, especially because once you put all the keychains on there, it gets pretty heavy. I would honestly say this is about like 20 to 30 pounds, somewhere around there. And lifting it, it's like an awkward shape as well. In order to secure it, I built up the grid panels and then I clipped the top of this pegboard on 3 separate segments and then zip tied it one section here, another portion here, and I also zip tied it down here too to make sure it was completely secure. If we give it the shake test, it should survive, you know, it won't fall down. Pretty sure like if someone aggressively takes off a keychain from the wall, it's not just gonna come crumbling down. About 140 keychains displayed here. I've been using these pegs. You can get them off of Amazon, raw wall. They come in 2-inch and goes up to I believe 6 inches, something like that. I only need about 2 inches of space because I don't store a whole lot of keychains onto the pegboard. The pegboard I actually got as separate segments from Lowe's. So you can actually go to Lowe's or Home Depot, maybe another department store if you need. I had them cut it in 3x2 because that was the approximate size I wanted my pegboard to be. I don't remember which wood it is. It might be birch, plywood, some kind of thick wood, also from Lowe's, and attached it at the edges of the pegboard. Still 3x2, and then to secure it, I screwed it on with a hex nut on the back to make sure it locked and it wouldn't suddenly just fly out. They're hinged on the back so they can fold completely into a sandwich so that it only takes up 3x2 worth of space, and it actually only folds out like a book and it can't fold beyond that, if that makes sense. I also have a handle here in case I wanted to carry the pegboard with a handle instead of lugging the whole thing around because again, it does get pretty heavy. I was actually inspired to paint it in my branding with the more aquamarine border and then a mint green background onto the pegboard part of the display because originally it was all white, but then I saw my friend Kai of A Whale Co have her own branded colored pegboards and I was like, I have to do the same thing. I can't be caught slacking in the artist alley in terms of like branding. Like I'm a mint green guy, like I have to really exude that, you know. Anyway, that's my pegboard. First time using it at an artist alley display. Honestly, pretty successful. And the last pivotal piece to making sure everything is self-serve is these acrylic stands. They're absolutely wonderful. As I mentioned, I showed you guys earlier on in the video, but 7 tiers and you can display so many stickers on there. I have about like 140, 150 designs. Look at this. Look at this Pokemon, all of them. And they all fit so nice. They're so colorful, it's so chewy and yummy and scrumptious and delicious. That's what people describe my art style as. I have no idea what that means, to be honest, but I'm just regurgitating what other people say. These acrylic stands, they're absolutely amazing, easy to build. I have 4 of them, might get more, not sure, but they're pretty versatile. You can use them with stickers and you can use them with mini prints. I've been using them with some small prints. Also, to divide the stickers, because sometimes they'll get like really messed up and you know, like say for example, there's no divider between these one-piece stickers, they might fall over into another sticker and someone grabbing them in self-serve, they might mess up the display. Having these little dividers is really nice. I'm sure you could find them on Amazon or something, but actually I had my friend Sid 3D print these, so they all fit snugly between the acrylic display trays. I actually had him measure the tolerances of the trays so that he could print the right size for these ones. So if you have a friend that 3D prints, make use of their devices. Anyway, we're gonna close up a little bit today, grab some dinner, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow for day 2, end of Sac Comic-Con tomorrow. Just one more day, and then I'll see how the numbers are tomorrow and how I feel about the self-serve setup for the first time here. Welcome to day 2 of the self-serve setup. Made a couple sales, it's been the first hour. It's currently 11:21. My friends here are helping me.
Hello.
Sammy.
I am Henry's friend. Hi guys. Is this for YouTube?
Yeah.
Hey YouTube.
Since it is nearly lunchtime, they're gonna go on a mission to grab some food. But before this, they walked over to the other side of the venue, checked out what was going on over there, because when we were walking to Sac Comic-Con today from the parking structure, there was a loading dock and it was open. And you know how I said to you guys about the con being like split in half? Well, the other half, there's another event going on. I'm pretty sure it's called World's Worst Expo, something like that. But it's for like sneakers, fashion, thrifting. There was a lot of clothes vendors with racks just loading into that side of the dock. And I was like, oh, what's going on over there? So it looked kind of nifty, but I don't think I'm gonna walk over there. It's too far, because if I could walk through the loading dock side, it'd be a straight line, but since I can't, I'd have to walk all the way around the building, and I don't want to do that. Put you guys on a top-down angle. This is what it looks like when a 7'10" person is looking down at me, a 5'7" person. Also put on the wide angle lens so that you guys can actually see a little bit more of the back right now. If you're wondering why I'm like swinging around this hammer, so actually in previous videos, if you don't already know, I have 2 of these grid cube hammers, because for my setup, I actually have 2 separate grid panel sets combined together. They're the same ones. Hi, welcome back.
Hi, I just wanted to give this to you.
Why?
I love your art.
Thank you. This is so cute. I love having crochet items.
Because on the way here, I was looking through Instagram and I saw you just posted.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my art isn't selling. I was like, I'm literally going there to buy your art.
I always say that it's a catchphrase, but it's like I'm not. Chat. Oh my God, look at this. A crocheted goodie. This is so cute. I love my crochet gift. Since I forgot to bring my other hammer, I only have the metal one and it's untaped. And I have a little bit of mint green tape left, so I guess I might as well make this one mint green too. And also I wanted to show you guys, I've been conducting some of the sales. I've been, like I said, super lazy this weekend, letting everyone just walk up to the booth, pick whatever the heck they want, bring it to me, and then I package it, and that's it. Only the transaction that I really have to worry about. But I wanted to show you guys something. I actually have my camera clipped on to one of my gadgets for the Osmo, and then on the other side, I was using my tripod for my square terminal right here, because this actually has like the screw-in feature. I just thought it was funny to have like my square terminal on the tripod, screws on, so if you unscrew on the bottom, you can see it has a hole for it, and it's meant for specific square terminal stands that have that screw-in feature, but I've noticed that it fit the one for the tripod, so I was like, well, I guess I could just place this anywhere and someone can do their transactions like tapping on the screen like this, you know? Maybe convenient for outdoor events, definitely not practical for indoor and artist alley, but it was just because at the front of my table, I didn't really want to put this there, so that's why it's on the tripod for now. I have a camera set up at the front, and it's kind of funny, a little cam like in Among Us to keep track of where people are and what they're doing in a separate room. The reason I have a camera is not for security reasons. I was just recording a time lapse. It is an interesting discussion because when you're doing a lot of self-serve, there are parts of the booth that you might not be able to see, and having a camera would help prevent theft. You would imagine, right? Like a sign that says smile, you're on camera, and then you have your, Osmo Pocket or camera recording. It might be a practical investment if you get a large enough booth. I only have an 8-foot space, so it's probably not. But anyway, we're eating lunch. They brought us back some food. I got some crab fried rice, and then we also got a Thai tea. So we're gonna enjoy some lunch right now. Pretty good show. End of Sac Comic-Con. I know I didn't vlog a whole lot, but I want to tell you guys more about the self-serve display and how I feel about it now that the show is over, and whether I would use it again in the future for other shows, maybe 8-foot tables. Of course, I use it at outdoor events. Shout out to Melissa. Hey! The one hey. I do really like the trays. I think the trays displays the sticker sheets well, and maybe there's a better way to have them. Probably these acrylic display stands, say I did it like this, maybe they might still sell. I don't know. I have no idea. I use them for the prints. I think they're better for the stickers. Might get more acrylic display stands, to be honest. They are actually a little wider than 1 foot. I don't know if you guys can tell here, but they go like, there's 4 of them, right? And they go past 4 grid panels, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's like about an extra inch. I think they're about like 12 inches and a half inch. So then they poke out a little more. But that means I can have up to maybe 5 acrylic display stands. laying out at the top here. One thing I will say though is I didn't really utilize the space down here much, you know, at the bottom of the table. So I did put the prints out here. And then I have the large prints displayed on this side. Not really a big fan of this, but I do think it was nice for some of the people to look through them. It didn't really translate into sales. I did have a lot of people come out and like take a peek, take a closer look at the prints, which is nice. But not a lot of people were buying them, so I don't know if that was like effective method of displaying the prints. I think they're a little better if they were on the top using maybe a 5th panel high. So I think the prints are a little better if they're displayed higher up. And I didn't have my banner this time, so the only way I could display my StickerZoo branding is with this little sheet up here. And it says StickerZoo with a few of the Hemi the hamsters. Might do more, might have more cutouts in the future. And then the last most important self-serve display, the keychains. I honestly think it was a good method to display them. However, I will say that when there are way too much of one thing, in this case the keychains, it can create some decision fatigue. I think people could get a little tired of looking at it, or it might be overstimulating. There's a lot of designs here, 138 of them to be exact. And when you're looking at that many options, it's kind of hard to find what you might like and determine if the artist even has the thing that you might like. You know, what if I'm into Pokemon and I don't see Pokemon initially, then I just keep walking. There's too many different fandoms and subjects, and it's a little difficult. One thing I think that would make this a little better, labeling the keychains and the fandoms that they're in. You know, I have Pokemon on the top and then like some Sanrios and some anime at the bottom. Could be good to label them, be like, oh, these are the Pokemon keychains. And especially with the colleges, especially the ones on this side, since they're all college keychains, from the bottom we have Long Beach to Cal State Northridge, Riverside, UCLA and Cal Berkeley, UCSD, Davis, and UC Irvine. Like, I could have a label that probably says, oh, this is from this college. And that might help people a little more, rather than just looking at it and be like, oh, these are random animal keychains. I'm not gonna get them. Another inhibiting aspect of shopping here is that's kind of high. You know, even for me, the top row, like if I'm not 5'7", how am I gonna grab those keychains? I did have like a couple customers who were a little shorter and they had to have their tall friend grab the keychain for them from the top. But I mean, at the end of the day, I could grab the keychain if that was really necessary, but I would rather make it as easy as possible for the customer to shop. That's the purpose of the self-serve display, right? All in all, I think it was pretty solid. The keychains were bought the most frequently at this show this weekend. Ironically, not the stickers. For someone named StickerZoo, the sticker sheets and stickers individually weren't the most popular. I mean, I'm not dissatisfied with that. I like the fact that the keychains were the top sellers throughout the weekend because I have a lot of them. And I think this was actually a pretty good method to display them. We're gonna do some tearing down now. I will show you guys a time lapse of us doing so. Okay, I'm about to attempt another savage round of, this might be a really bad idea, but I'm not gonna ask for help on bringing this pegboard down, so we're gonna hope for the best. This will be the true test of whether I am actually good at this artist alley thing, whether I can take down this pegboard that is 30+ pounds from my display. That's one zip tie, the last one up here, and then we take these off. Here it is, true test. Might be a little ambitious, but once onto the table, oh my God, that is heavy. I think putting it up is a lot harder than bringing it down. Jeez, that hurts the fingers. That was an uncomfortable position. We just finished packing out. Pretty empty haul now. Wagon, 2 boxes, couple things, suitcase. The main feature of this video was this amazing pegboard that I wanted to show off. As I mentioned, it closes, there's a handle, and to make sure it doesn't fall apart, there's screws with hex nuts on both sides so that it doesn't come apart, at least the pegboard from the wood. I also did attach magnets to the top in case I wanted to add any displays above the pegboards for outdoor displays. The handle does kind of work, but it does flap open, I will not lie. Since I put it only on one end, it does flap open, so a good way to fix that is probably to either clamp it, tie it, put a magnet there. Definitely several different solutions, but I haven't really figured out what I want to do with that yet. And as I also mentioned, there are hinges on the back that allow it to open up to be flat and then nothing beyond that. I will be using this a lot more in my outdoor displays, as I have in the past for UCSD and UCI vendor fairs or a couple other 10x10 outdoor markets. I think this is really convenient. It could be relatively intuitive, but if you guys ever want a tutorial video of me building the pegboard or showing you how I can make one of these and what materials I use from Lowe's, please let me know so I can maybe make a video on that for the next outdoor event. Other than that though, I hope you guys enjoyed this weekly vlog of me at another event on another side quest. This episode mainly just being about using the self-serve display here at Sac Comic-Con. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know it's a little bit of a shorter video, but tune in next week for our show at Anime Las Vegas. It's gonna be probably a little bit longer of a video. I'm excited for that one, but otherwise, thank you guys for watching another Stickerzoo vlog. I will see you guys hopefully next Tuesday when the vlog gets uploaded. If you want to keep watching any other videos or last week's episode in Kansas where I proxied for my friend Kelsey Kishi Draws, check the video out here. Thank you.